Greetings. I'm Tiffanye Thomas, the Curriculum Content Supervisor for Social Studies here within the Division of Academics, and I would like to share with you just an overview of the work, the responsibilities, the projects that Social Studies is involved in. I have a team of two content trainers. We work across grades K 12 because it's difficult at this point to divide them elementary, middle, and high. So all of us work to support kindergarten through 12th grade, even though some of us have expertise more with elementary or more with high school. My content trainers are Miss Augusta Caesar and Miss Jennifer Foster. You can see here we offer teachers and leaders live office hours Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday so they can access and have any questions answered. We can revisit topics for lesson plans, any plans for professional learning communities, assessments, or any instructional supports they may need. We can do that in real time 3 days out of the week. Social Studies as a content team has devised as our own personal mission to make sure we answer every question, that we provide models using best practices, we integrate technology, and that we are supporting teachers in real time every single day. We adhere to the Division of Academics Coherence Framework, in which we provide support around text, task, and talk. We ensure we are communicating with teachers, with leaders as they have questions, with interdepartments such as ESS, ESL, math, science, social, ELA, MTSS, all of those projects and programs to really support and thoroughly ensure that as we serve the heart of teaching and learning, we are doing so while we are adhering to the systems that have been put in place within our district. We do support the 6 keys. While we are not in the early childhood arena, we do promote that we want our third graders to enter on grade level or above. We want middle school students to have successful transitions and rich learning experiences. And we want to promote our high school students with the options and opportunities that will lead them to having the skills they need for post secondary options, whether it's advanced placement, dual enrollment, or pursuing industry based certifications. So, as far as instruction goes, within the social studies content team, we are responsible for developing lesson plans. We adhere to the Division of Academics focus this year, which are high level questions, high level tasks, making sure learners are engaged in accountable talk and really owning their learning. So, as we create our lesson plans, we do so using the curricular resources provided by the Department of Education. The vendors that we use are the DBQ Project, Studies Weekly, Discovery Education, Nearpod, iCivics, Teacher Created Materials, and we work with Achieve 3000. We know that this was an initiative supported by the district to ensure that we are promoting literacy throughout all content areas. And so we have aligned the articles within the Achieve platform to our scope and sequence so that as students engage in topics in social studies, they also get additional support through Achieve 3000. We designed the district scope and sequence that is for grades kindergarten through 12. The scope and sequence documents are used to help teachers identify pacing, where they should be, what content should they be focusing on at which point in the year. We have also developed a unit internalization guide. This is a part of our professional development and professional learning, where we help teachers unpack their own knowledge and understanding around units so they can develop the questions that are needful to support students, whether this is what will I do if students master this content? What will I do if I have to engage in reteaching? So we do have a tool that has been developed to support teachers in their capacity to think through these processes. In our lesson plans, we provide all of the resources that teachers need. These include any professional development opportunities or videos that we have done. We have the unit internalization, the DBQ toolbox where they can pull document analysis sheets, which are used for sources in the social studies classrooms to help students analyze them. We provide supports for our English learners. We provide the depth of knowledge wheel so that teachers can revisit this. Accountable talk tools. You'll also see here that as a result of the lesson plans we've developed, we have also designed unit assessments that teachers can use to identify any gaps in learning to support additional instructional needs. We also created showcase tasks. These are provided by the State Department, but where they're not provided for all topics, we use the same templates for creating additional showcase tasks to support inquiry within the social studies classroom. The hope is that we are developing those literacy skills around the informational text and expanding students' understanding of history across people, events, and time, and at the same time, engaging them in writing so that they can demonstrate their ability to really address questioning as well as be prepared for the written aspects of the state assessment. We've looked at our data. This was social studies data for the last year, the 21-22 academic year. And as you can see, we did not lose any ground, but we did not have any substantial gains. So we're working very diligently this year to support teachers and leaders by providing those unit assessments. We had not had unit assessments in social studies before. The performance tasks were not embedded, and we did not have lesson plans for teachers prior to the Division of Academics setting this as a mission for instruction. We've made note of those schools that have grown and those that we could provide additional supports for. We've looked at our data around the strands, history, geography, civics, economics, to determine where students would need more support. And in identifying this, when lesson plans are written, we ensure that either through quick writes, bell work, or formative performance tasks that help teachers to look at student understanding in the moment, that we are addressing history, geography, civics, and economics to continue to support student learning. We used our unit assessments. You can see this shows from a kindergarten unit assessment. And yes, we know that K1 and 2 don't take state assessments, but going back to those 6 keys, ensuring that students are ready for third grade, either on or above level. We provided unit assessments for kindergarten, first, and second grade. This is the first year that kindergarten, first, and second grade were required to teach social studies daily. 30 minutes of instruction each day. So the unit assessments were developed for these grades as well to help teachers see where students might need additional support, what resources were working, what could be used. You see continually, we have them for all of the tested grades, identifying the standards where students are performing at their highest and where they're performing at their lowest. This data can then be used by teachers to create additional activities. It is also taken by the social studies content team and our lesson plans and our professional development to ensure that we're circling back to close any unfinished learning that may occur. Teachers, principals, schools, anyone can submit a support request through our website. We take the request. We then have asked schools, teachers, or the individual submitting it to provide at least 2 days and times that we are able to come and support and serve that request. That can be done through PLCs, through direct modeling, through classroom observations and feedback. As of today, we've done approximately 50 instructional support requests. We have a blended learning model that we support. This year, using this tool, helping especially middle and high school. We know that a lot of times in elementary schools, they are accustomed to working in stations, but we also see the real intrinsic value for middle and high school to have students rotate through stations with a 90 to 96-minute block of instruction. This can help teachers pull small groups and address individualized learning. So in this way, we are supporting diverse learning. We've gone into schools and provided examples of the blended learning model, setting up even rotation and giving ideas for activities. This can be found on our social studies content website in our teacher toolbox. We have a diverse learners guide, and the diverse learners guide is to address diverse learning needs, whether that's through vocabulary acquisition, close reading, use of primary sources, as well as additional scaffolds and supports. Again, these are available as tools for teachers, but they are integrated throughout our lesson plans, throughout professional learning, or even when we have to address support in real time. We've looked at our feedback because as a content team, feedback is incredibly important to us. So after every professional development, every teacher meeting, every district PD where we are asked to provide a session, we ask teachers and leaders to please give us feedback so that we are constantly evaluating our work in real time to ensure that we are answering questions, that we are providing what teachers, schools, classrooms need from us as a content. And we know we are always growing, but overall in this year, I believe as a social studies team, we've done an exceptional job answering questions, getting support, providing a website that would ultimately help give not only information, but access to resources updated in real time. These are just some images where we have done some on-site training. We go into the classrooms, we're modeling, we're training teachers, we're giving that support. The professional development sessions that we have hosted since August. In August, we did Teacher Development Week. In September, we focused on questioning the depths of knowledge because we want our teachers to understand how to scaffold from 1 to 4. We include the depth of knowledge questions in our lesson plans, and they're color coded. We want our students at 3s and 4s, but we also understand that there may be a need for a DOK 1 or DOK 2, a lower level question, which could ultimately support students in getting to those higher level questions. In October, elementary focused on blended learning, and for our secondary professional learning opportunity, we focused on the document-based question. This is where students take primary and secondary sources and they have to analyze those sources, they look to address those sources, and they use those sources to then develop the composition. So that was for secondary. In November, we had a request to look at lesson planning, and we also did literary strategies within the content area. So how does speaking, writing, listening, reading in the content area really live within social studies? In December, we did a collaborative planning. We wanted teachers to see the process of collaborative planning, starting with data, using that data, such as our unit assessment data you saw earlier, to identify what the needs were, and then developing activities, developing plans, and even developing those small group rotations. In January, we had informational sessions. We conducted 16 informational sessions during the day where teachers, leaders, other district level personnel, school personnel could sign on in real time and listen to information regarding the revised standards and what we were doing as a district to begin working on scope and sequence documents, curriculum documents, and tools for the revised standards. Last month, we looked at the draft frameworks. So we worked with teachers around what those draft frameworks would look like and that planning. And in this month, we are going to focus on claims and counterclaims. Since this will be new for our learners, we want to make sure that we do a professional development before school lets out to help teachers and leaders understand what the knowledge demands are going to be for the coming year for our learners. The projects that we are working on. The social studies content team brought back the district social studies fair. We had active participation from many schools in the districts. We're looking to expand this initiative next year, and we even have students who are going on to the regional fair at LSU. So we were very excited about this, very excited about the representation and the participation from the elementary level all the way through high school. We conducted a voter registration drive with the high schools for those students that were going to be um, turning 18 and eligible to vote. We partnered with Judge Brown's office to make sure that we had forms that students were aware. We have this video that shows student voice, what students were thinking. This was an amazing opportunity for us as a content team to go into the schools and talk to students and just hear what they had to say around voting, because it is a part of our work to ensure and expand history and civic education as not just passing a class, but that our students are able to move forward in life to make the decisions that are in their best interest and that continue to support constitutional democracy. So another project that we have academic magnet schools within the district. And the academic magnets have asked about what they could do to serve a distinction in their offerings. So during master scheduling this year, having been an advanced placement teacher and having worked with AP in a previous capacity, I investigated the opportunity to be able to bring pre AP courses specifically to those academic magnets for them to serve in that distinction. And so the social studies content team has partnered with the magnet department, and we have identified 4 schools that we will support this year offering pre AP world history and geography. Students can earn a world history high school credit, but more importantly, they get the exposure to prepare them for AP courses in high school. Teachers will get the professional development and all of the resources that they need to sustain this initiative. So we are really excited to bring this to East Baton Rouge Parish Public Schools. Additionally, we developed a social studies plan. And in doing so, we work with a number of partners and collaborators, of which iCivics was one. The result of that was iCivics extending the invitation to the East Baton Rouge Parish Public School System to serve in its community of practice, where we would take 7th grade teachers and work with them in developing their capacity to teach using inquiry, to support very rigorous learning in alignment with the revised standards. And so we are super excited to be a part of this community of practice where teachers are going to get real-time professional development. We're looking forward to working in this capacity and supporting our teachers in this initial year, knowing that in the coming year, the 24-25 school year, we would be expanding this to ensure that our learners are receiving not only the most rigorous education, the opportunities and access to those content that is really going to equip them. Teachers are also going to be supported. They'll get all of the professional learning, and then within the district, we'll continue to work alongside them. So again, we're super excited about this partnership. As a content team, we have worked to contribute to the superintendent's vision of a parent guide. What we would want to see parents looking at in each 9 weeks to determine what their learners need to know to better understand what is coming home for homework or what is even taking place at school. So we have done this for social studies for grades K-12 and for each 9 weeks. So what will students in kindergarten need to know in the first 9 weeks? What will they be doing? What will students in the 11th grade be doing in the first 9 weeks and the expected outcomes? So hopefully this just furthers our partnership with parents so that they have a better understanding of what is going on in the classroom. And more importantly, if they have questions, they are able to reach out and ask. So we see this parent guide as being a very useful tool for our parents in the coming year. As I stated, social studies created a plan. It is called Forward Frontiers. And the intent of this plan is to share with teachers, to share with principals, executive directors, board members, all of our stakeholders, what is going on in social studies? What are the instructional practices? What are the moves for teachers? How are we supporting diverse learning? And then ultimately, how are we ensuring that our students in the social studies classrooms are actively engaged in content and disciplinary skills and practice in ways that support not just proficiency on the test, but that create lifelong learners and contributors to a global society. Additionally, because we are so passionate about curriculum and instruction, the social studies content team continues to add to our own skill set and abilities. So, one content trainer has finished graduate school, completed the Superintendent's Academy. We have participated in teaching hard history, document based question lead trainings, because as we serve as the district leads, we want to make sure that we are able to support teachers, the guardians of democracy. We are also uh, engaged in the letters training, because literacy is the strategies that go throughout all content. So for social studies, we want to make sure we have a deep understanding of the science of reading so that we are supporting and aligning our practices. We have had acceptance to the Cato's Institute Sphere Summit on Civic Learning. We are looking to participate in the Institute for Louisiana Culture and History in July. We've served in the School Support Institute, and we have worked in our interdepartment collaborations with our other content groups, as well as English Learners Accountability, the Arts, and ESS. So this is who we are. These are our email addresses. If you have questions, if you have concerns, you can also visit our social studies site at bit.ly/SSEBR, and that is all lowercase. It is our hope that we've been able to give you just a snapshot into the work of social studies as a content team. Obviously, this is an overview. We go so much further and so much deeper, but we do hope that this provides at least a foundation. And of course, if there are questions, if there are concerns, any comments, you need any additional feedback, we are here to address those needs as we continue to support the work of teaching and learning within the East Baton Rouge Parish School System. Again, I am Tiffanye Thomas, the Curriculum Content Supervisor for Social Studies. It is my pleasure to serve every student in every school, in every community, every single day. Thank you for what you do to support our work. It is so appreciated.